Welcome back, guys. It's your boy Wraith Hoops with another video. Today we're going to be talking about a player that could potentially step up when James Harden gets traded. More news is coming out where James Harden appears to be dead set on going to the Clippers. It doesn't seem like a reconcilable situation there in Philadelphia. Now, if I'm Daryl Morey, that puts me in a very tough spot. I spoke about it in a previous video. Go check it out. But it makes it very difficult for him because he wants to be able to put pieces around Joel Embiid. And recently, in an interview, Joel said he just wants to win. Whether it's in Philadelphia or anywhere else, he just wants to win a championship. That doesn't bode well if you're a Philadelphia fan, and especially if you're Daryl Morey, because that tells you that you're running on a very tight window. He's in his prime. He wants to win. He has not played the best in the playoffs. He's been a phenomenal player in the regular season. We know who Embiid is. But come the postseason, we need Embiid to take that next step. However, regardless of whether he does or not, he still, you could argue, hasn't had the opportunity to be a true contending team player. They did have Harden, and Harden did shoot his career best percentage from the three-point line and was a great distributor of the ball. But even Harden was ineffective in the playoffs. So understanding that Harden isn't quite in the same prime that he was when he was on the Rockets, and now also seeing that he's most likely not going to be there anymore, you're going to need more effective guard play from players such as the Tyrese Maxeys of the world. And he has been in the lab working on his game. There's been multiple mixtapes that have dropped of his workout plan and the types of shots that he's practicing and working on so that he can level up his game, because he is going to have a huge jump, more shot attempts for himself, and more opportunities to just control where the ball goes in the half court. Now, depending on what can be worked out as far as the trade with Harden and what they can get back, if they do not get a main guard and they don't get somebody that can kind of fill that space up to a certain extent, if you're going to try and get Embiid to stay, you're going to need somebody else to step up. After watching the Summer League, I think that Jaden Springer might be that guy. Now, I'm a little bit biased, perhaps, because he did go to school right down the road from me at Rocky River High School. He was a great player there. He ended up transferring to IMG, played there, committed to Tennessee, played great there, and then jumped to the league. Now, he was with the Sixers as a rookie. He did get drafted as the 28th overall pick, so he wasn't a lottery. There wasn't an extremely high expectation for him as a player, especially coming out of college, but the expectation is that he would progress as the seasons go on. And he did play with the G Leagues for a very consistent bout, and he was a consistent player there. In his rookie season, he only played in 2 games with the Sixers. He had 3 minutes and averaged a point, so really there wasn't much there. In his sophomore season last year, he did play in 16 games and had about 6 minutes a game, averaging 2.6 points on 48% shooting. Also not great, but a slightly larger sample size. Now, if we're to believe that what he's done in the Summer League is indicative of the player that he could potentially be in the regular season, I see some very bright spots, because he did play 3 games. Obviously, we saw a lot of other players like your Jabari Smiths, Victor Wembanyama, and Chet Holmgren. They all 3 played 2 games. Jaden gave us 3. And in those games, he averaged 22, 4, 2, and about 3 steals. So, of course, this is the Summer League, and the play isn't that terrific. It's not quite NBA caliber across the board, so that's probably an important thing to take note of. But that being said, he was still one of the most interesting pieces to watch in the entire thing. Now, the thing is, coming into this upcoming season, he's going to be making a little over $2 million. He is 6'4", a little over 200 pounds. So he's got the length, he's got the height to do it. It's just about, if the opportunity presents itself, will he capitalize on it? Now, right now, looking at the depth chart, he is in there, but he's not really seeing that many minutes. I would expect that once Harden gets traded, you're going to see a carousel of guards come in, because there's no perfect trade partner that you can flip for Harden. There's no great piece that you can get to take over that role. That's why Tyrese Maxey has to be more prepared than he's ever been before in his career, and we expect him to do great things. Joel Embiid is going to expect him to do great things. Doc Rivers is, especially because he's going to rely on him most heavily. They're going to be shorthanded at the guard position. They're going to take a step back no matter who they can trade for, because it's not like Dame wants to go there. Dame said he wants to go to the Heat. His agent said he's not playing for anybody else. He wants to go to the Heat. Honestly, the Trailblazers owe him that much. They should just send him there. Maybe not for kibbles and bits, but get you some draft picks, get Tyler Hero if Tyler's willing to go, and go ahead and get it going. That being said, if I'm James Harden and I know I'm going to the Clippers, I don't care. I don't care what they get back, send me there. And that's really what he's been telling them up to this point. Now, looking at Jaden Springer, he's part of those players that have been in the system for a couple years and have had the opportunity to grow, and given the opportunity, he might just blow. I'm hoping that he does because there's been some good pieces on that roster, but nobody really stands out as being that replacement for James Harden. Now, I'm not saying Jaden Springer is going to be the replacement for James Harden, but I'm saying if he goes from playing 6 minutes a game to, say, playing 20-ish, you could see some very effective guard play out of him. He is a tenacious defender. Obviously, being 6'4", he does have the potential length. Obviously, you're seeing much bigger guards these days, so it's not going to give him an overt ability to just guard everybody. That's just not how the league works these days. Also, a question mark is going to be his shooting from outside the three-point line. During the Summer League, he only shot a roughly 31% on a decent number of attempts, so I'm not feeling great about it, but overall, he's a good decision maker. He's gotten better with picking his spots and making those decisions when the ball is in his hands, and even making moves and back cutting when the ball is not in his hands, which is going to be a very big and important thing because they're going to be suffering from a playmaking deficit. So just being able to get to your spots, know where you're supposed to be, and operate within the means of the offensive system that Doc has in place for you is going to do wonders. I'd like to go ahead and assume that he's going to be one of those players that gets the opportunity, and I feel like once he gets it, he's not going to let it go. That being said, I'm not going to sit here and project him to score 20 points, 25 points, not even probably 18. But if he could get a solid 13 to 15 point range, you're in good spirits. And if he can shoot 48% from the field while doing it, even better. If his 3-point percentage is roughly around the 34-35% mark, that would be terrific. Because now, not only has he gone from a bench warmer to a player, but now he's a consistent role player that you can rely on. Maybe not so much to take the load off of Joel Embiid entirely, but to force it into a situation where opposing defenses can't just throw everybody at Joel because Harden's not there and just say, hey, if it's not Joel or Maxey, nobody's getting the job done. Having other key role players in those positions on the court with them is going to go a long way. And I think Jaden Springer has the potential to make that next step. With that being said, good morning, good evening, good night. No matter where you are on the globe watching, make sure to hit that like, comment, and subscribe button. We're chasing 1K, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.